our next stop is in Huntsville, Texas, to check in with the Sam Houston Bearcats. We will start with the women first. They finished 7-22 a season ago, a loss in the first round of the Conference USA tournament. They come in picked 10th in the preseason poll this year. This Sam Houston team bringing back just one starter, Sydney Kemp, 11.5 points per game last year, their leading scorer. They do welcome 10 newcomers to the roster, which is the most in Conference USA. They focused a lot this offseason on improving their defense, and they've got a tough non-conference schedule upcoming. A couple of NCAA tournament teams. They go to Kansas in early November. Then they face Rice. They will open their season versus New Mexico State on January 2nd. We're excited now to be joined by Sam Houston Bearcats head coach Raven Justice. Sydney Kemp here for this. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Coach, the biggest adjustment for you guys last year coming to Conference USA, this was your third conference in the last several seasons. What was the biggest adjustment for your group?
You know, the biggest adjustment last year was just trying to stay healthy. You know, I thought we took some injuries early on in the season, so it made us adjust a lot that we had to do on and off the ball, defensively and offensively. So I'm excited about this year, excited about our newcomers, and definitely glad to have Sydney Kemp back.
Coach, you talk about that depth, and it's sometimes last year, I know there was only 7 or 8 healthy players on this roster. You've got a lot more depth this year. What has you most excited about this team?
Just having a full roster. I think the biggest thing with basketball is just knowing what you can get every night out of each player, and that's something that we focus on this year. So we're truly excited about the morale right now, the chemistry that our team have, and we're excited about playing in a couple of weeks.
Coach, you've told me before that you felt like the defense needed to improve coming into this year. Last year, opponents scored too many points. They shot it too high of a percentage. What strides did this team make this offseason to improve defensively?
I think this summer we just focused mainly on defensively. I don't know if we ran any offense this summer, so we put a lot of emphasis on our defensive stance, our defensive pressure, and, you know, that's what we've been known for the last couple of years. Is our defensive rotation and things like that. So, you know, we really didn't focus a lot on offense. I think it comes with the game naturally. So, you know, we spent a lot of time defensively, and I think Sydney Kemp could tell you that as well.
I know Sydney wants to talk about some offense. We'll get to her in just a moment. But, Coach, when you look at Sydney's career, 112 games, she's played them all for you. How have you seen her develop as a leader?
You know, I think the cool thing about Kemp is it's like, right before practice, I never have to say anything. Like, right when I get ready to open my mouth, she's already saying everything I want to say. So, you know, having her on the floor, being the coach on the floor has been awesome. But the biggest thing is she's a great person on and off the floor. So I'm happy she's been with us this long.
Now, Sydney, your coach told me during your preseason, she calls you the old head on the team, and there's a lot of new players on this roster. I heard you guys had a team retreat over the summer, and I heard there was some cooking involved, and I was curious, what part of the cooking were you involved with?
I was involved with the most important part, which was cooking the chicken. We had a little trouble with the noodles and the sauce, but the chicken was good on my end. So, yeah, but I guess I can be the old head since I did have the most important part.
Now, I know, Coach, she stepped in and helped with some of the other groupings during the cooking, but didn't have to help with the chicken?
Nah, the chicken was the chicken was good. Even if you didn't eat the noodles or the sauce, you ate the chicken. So I was happy about that.
Well, that's good to hear. Definitely have to stop by for a meal next time we're down in Huntsville, Texas. But, Sydney, you've really focused this offseason on connecting with your teammates, a large grouping of new players. What does that look like for you?
It looks different. It looks new, but it's also exciting to just see new faces coming in every day. We've meshed very well, just as Coach has said. The morale is very great. So I'm excited about this year. I mean, even though we do have 10 new roster players, we feel like we've known each other for years. And just the way that we play on the court, even if we do make a mistake, we all make a mistake as one. So I'm very excited for this year.
Now, last year, it was a huge year for you. You took a major step forward. You had career highs in a lot of categories across the board. When you look ahead to this season, what are some goals for you, and what do you feel like this team can accomplish?
My biggest goal is just winning. Individual goals, they'll come as team goals progress. So just winning. I really could care less about the individual stats. All of that can come but I want to be remembered as a winner. I can have all the stats in Conference USA, but if we're not winning, it feels like it means nothing to me. So I'm just excited about winning and just proving that, we did have that rough year last year, of course, injuries and things like that. But, we're coming a little different this year. We've been putting in a lot of work this summer, so I'm excited. Well,
best of luck as you guys move into the season ahead. Coach Justice Sidney, thank you for joining us on the Conference USA Basketball Tip-Off Show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, we are moving quickly on. Let's jump over the studio now. Matt Warner, Kelly Deo standing by with some reaction.
Yeah, Kelly, you look at this team, just the 2 wins in conference play a year ago, but the beauty of this era of college sports, you can flip a roster quick. They've done that. What excites you about this team? Where do you think they grow the most this season?
Well, you heard them talk about their defense, and that's what they struggled with last season. You heard her say that all they did this summer was focus on the defensive end. The other thing they did was reload in that post. Before any of the newcomers came in, their tallest player was 5'10". And so they have some big kids coming in, a freshman in particular who I'm excited about, Leah Salinas Beeman, 6'4", along with Nyla Inman, who's a JUCO transfer, averaged almost a double-double. Yeah. So both those players, I think, are going to make an immediate impact.
With so many new players on this roster, does it make early season and the non-conference portion of the schedule that much more important, trying to figure out who you are?
Yeah, it does. But I'm going to say kudos to Coach Justice because she has made this she's given it a positive spin. Yeah. She said, this is not a bad thing that we're a new team. And, I got to be honest, I think that would be hard because It's a lot more teaching early on. You can't get to a lot of your sets. And so she's having to do that and adjust. But having a leader like Sydney Kemp is a big component for what they're trying to do with this young group and bringing them all together.